All right, take two. I think this is going to be kind of a doubleheader, but I'm going to join game one in progress here. It isn't too far into the game. It's about 7.5 minutes into the first period. And the score right now, actually, the Totems have yet to score a goal. But again, like I said, it's just 7.5 minutes roughly into the first period. The Spokane Comets, on the other hand, they actually score relatively early on. It was Ray Brunel assisted by Gene or Max Mahalik to get the Spokane Comets up 1-0. And what this is the game DoC Hockey, and I'm replaying, I'm doing a condensed replay of the 62-63 Western Hockey League season from about 60 years ago. As you can see, there's 62-63 on the rink. And the Seattle Totems, I'm going to, much like I did a little while ago, where I had the Totems playing a game up against the Edmonton Flyers on the road. Here they actually have a doubleheader. They have the Spokane Comets, and then they're going to play the Portland Buckaroos, which should be an interesting matchup because the Portland Buckaroos right now, their record in the Western Hockey League, and again, this being my abbreviated replay of it, they are first overall right now. They have a record of 7-1-1 after 9 games. That lone loss, that lone blemish on the record was handed to them by the Seattle Totems. So the Totems is the only team that the Portland Buckaroos have yet to beat. That will be coming up after this one. I also wanted to play the Comets and get the likes of Don Cherry here in a game on camera. So anyway, again, it's 1-0 Comets, courtesy of Ray Brunel, assisted by Gene or Max Mahalik, and because it's both on Hockey Database, and then it's, I think, Gene Mahalik on Stats Crew. Anyway, so let's keep this one going here. We're going to have, actually, it's going to be Del Topoli here for the Spokane Comets. Topoli, he's unable to send it to anybody, so 2 more cards come off the pile here, and we're about 10 minutes into the first period now, where, let's see, this time it's going to be Alex Hukel with the puck, also known as Sandy, and he's also unable to penetrate the Totems defense. So we're getting a mid-period lull here in the first, of course. Now that I'm on camera, right, a goal has already been scored, so there's a lull in the play. But Dick Lamoureux, Comets keeping control of the puck here. Lamoureux, he sends, actually, Lamoureux, individual effort, end-to-end. We look here, the Queen, only Kings and Red Queens will score on Seattle goalie Al Miller. So that was a close call there. They almost went up by 2, but still, it's a 1-0 hockey game where finally the Totems have possession here, and it's Bill Barlow. Barlow looking here, team defense, Kings only. So Barlow unable to penetrate. Let me just double check here actually how many sequences. Goodness, so 1, that's 2, that'd be 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. And that's 7. Okay, goodness. So this, final 2.5 minutes of the first period. Sorry about that. So 2 means I have to look here for a team player for the home Spokane Comets. And that's going to be, let's see here, Harry Ottenbright for the Spokane Comets. With the 8 here, the team player, he's able to, let's see, he swings it to Harry Ottenbright. So again, end-to-end individual effort. Ottenbright has scored here for the Comets toward the end of 1. So the Comets take a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. And let's see if there's an assist, because it was Ottenbright to Ottenbright. I looked at the 6 of clubs where it's Dick Lamoureux. So Ottenbright from Dick Lamoureux here. I have a way, I just use a random number, 1 to 150. I Google it, so I have a way of determining exact time after the fact. Normally, again, when I'm playing this game off camera, actually, I'm using... I use a card shuffling and dealing app that I use. It's just deck.of.cards. And of course, this is Deck of Cards Hockey. And after 20 minutes of play here, we have a 2-0 game here, 2-0 score for the Spokane Comets. And scoring again, it was Ray Brunel scoring the first goal just in the first 2.5 minute sequence, actually. So Brunel about a minute or a couple of minutes in. And then in the final couple of minutes of the period, it was Ottenbright going end-to-end with it, taking the pass from Dick Lamoureux to give the Comets here a 2-goal cushion going into the second period. So the Seattle Totems themselves, looking at the records comparatively, because these are a couple of good teams so far in my replay of this that the Totems are up against here. The Totems themselves, they are first in the North Division, Northern Division, and second overall in the Western Hockey League. And again, my condensed replay of it, they carry into this game a record of 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. So they have 11 points in that 8 games. And the Spokane Comets, on the other hand, they are actually third in the league with a record of 5-3-0. So really what you're getting here in this doubleheader are the top 3 overall teams through about 7, 8, or 9 games into the season here of this replay. Because after this one, the Totems will play. I have them actually tucked beneath the Comets team and logo cards. The Totems will play a game as well against the Portland Buckaroos. So anyway, hopefully those are shuffled well enough. And we'll get things going here for the second period, where the initial possession goes to Bill Barlow of the Seattle Totems, and a Joker basically levies home ice advantage to the Comets. It's going to be an automatic broken play for the Seattle Totems. So we're 2.5 minutes in, up to the 5-minute mark now, where Guile Fielder, the always dangerous Guile Fielder, however, the jack means he is also unable to penetrate. The jack can potentially be an injury as well. It's an optional rule in this game, one that I swear I will make a video about soon. I know I've said it a few times now, but anyway, it's been a few days since I made any video at all. But yeah, this can be an injury. The reason why I've chosen not to do this actually for this replay is because it's already factored into the team cards. If a player missed time, he's less likely to get a goal or an assist anyway. So although I was using injuries a time or two earlier in the campaign, I decided no longer to use those. Anyway, we're about 5 minutes into the period here, and Fielder, rare occasion where he is unsuccessful. Now it's Jim Powers with it here for the Seattle Totems. Powers is going to send it to Guile Fielder, actually. Fielder now looking to score, and with the 10, that's going to be automatically a goal, getting the Totems on the board and into the game is Guile Fielder here from Jim Powers. About 7.5 minutes into the second period, and the assist we're looking, it's going to be Bob Sabrin. So again, that's Guile Fielder from Jim Powers and Bob Sabrin here about 7.5 minutes in, and it's a 2-1 hockey game. So we play on. It's going to be home this time with it. That is Bill Schvetz. Bill Schvetz, hopefully I've pronounced his name correctly. Again, this was 60 years ago. Some of these guys went on, either they came from the NHL in the late 1950s or 1950s, or with the expansion, 67, 68, they went on to make a name for themselves there. But some of these guys, it's really hard to find announcers or commentary. If I didn't say it already, it bears repeating. Anyway, it's hard to find how their names are pronounced. And full disclosure, because I'm a Canadian boy, Canada born and raised, I double checked to see that it was Spokane and not Spokane, at least according to what I Googled. So that's why I'm saying Spokane. Anyway, because I think, again, hearing old CHL broadcasts of Western Hockey League games, the Pat Falloon era specifically, I'm thinking of. I remember sometimes they'd say Spokane. Anyway, so it's Spokane. Sometimes I would hear Spokane anyway. So anyway, with that 3 there, so Schvetzi's unable to do anything with it. So we are now, let me double check here, I think we're about 10 minutes, into the second period. We're halfway through the game. I just do 60 minutes regulation. I don't do overtime. In real life, they did a 5-minute sudden death overtime. I believe it would have been 5-on-5 for the Western Hockey League, but that's just not how I play. I only do, sorry, I said 5-minute sudden death overtime. A 5-minute overtime, and if it was still tied, they would call it. I just like saying sudden death. But I don't do overtime unless it's for the postseason and for sudden death. Anyway. So again, this is my own condensed, abbreviated replay of this. And right now it's Bob Sabrin with the puck. Sabrin, he's unable to do anything with it. So it's about 12.5 minutes into it, and we're going up to the 15-minute mark, where Jim Powers is the puck once again. And Jim Powers as well, unable to penetrate the Comets' defense. So uncharacteristically tight defense actually for the Comets here. Actually, no, the defense is Kings. It's pretty good, not bad, but they do tend to be in a lot of high-scoring games where defense appears to have been left by the wayside. Anyway, we got 5 minutes to go here in the second period. We're Bill Schvetz with the puck here once more, and Schvetz also similarly unable to get by the Totems defense. So we're down to the final couple of minutes here of the second period. It's going to be Jerry Leonard with the puck. Jerry Leonard, he sends it through to Bill Barlow. Bill Barlow has tied the game here toward the end of 2. We had a 2-0 opening frame for the Comets, and the Seattle Totems have dealt it back their way in return. And so going into the third period here, we have a 2-all game. Actually, I should flip to see if there's a secondary assist. So that was Bill Barlow, courtesy of the ace, if you're able to see that. And it came from Jerry Leonard. And for the secondary assist, I'm going to look at the spades, and I'm going to look at the 5. And that says Jim Powers. So Bill Barlow from Jerry Leonard, and Jim Powers picking up his second assist of the game. And I might pause, actually, to shuffle this time. All right, and back for the third. I wanted to make sure I had those shuffled very thoroughly. And so we have here a 2-2 tie after 2 periods between the Seattle Totems, who are second overall right now so far in my replay of the Western Hockey League 62-63 season, and the Spokane Comets, who are third overall in, again, my condensed replay of the 62-63 Western Hockey League season. Starting things off here, it's going to be the visiting Seattle Totems with the puck. And again, it's the Jack. Guile Fielder has the Jack here like an AC/DC blues rock single, unable to really maneuver it through to anybody in scoring position. So we get here the 9 back the other way with it. It's going to be Alex Sandy Huckel once again. Team defense Kings. Kings able to penetrate. So Huckel will get the puck, and sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, to Don Cherry. Here we go, folks. Don Cherry with the 5, and he's unable to score, so we're about 5 minutes into it there. Don Cherry missing on the 5. Not a great shot, so 8, and then 2 we have, so automatically the 2 basically means, again, unless you're someone like Guile Fielder, that you're unable to send it to anyone here trying to set up for a for a shot and scoring position or whatever. So here with the 8, it's going to be Bill Barlow this time for the Seattle Totems, where he gets jokered. So the Totems here about 7.5 minutes into the third period. Could we be playing our way to an uninspiring draw? Remains to be seen here. It's going to be Warren Hall. Let me double check actually on Hall with the puck. This is the problem too when you've gone a little while. I haven't been as active with this lately. Wayne Hall, and I did that before. I apologize to Wayne Hall. Wayne Hall and friends, family, and fans of Wayne Hall. Wayne Hall here with possession. Hall with the 7, able to put it through. Hall, he gets it back. Actually, Wayne Hall, much like Harry Ottenbright earlier in the game, Wayne Hall has gone end-to-end with it. An individual effort, and would you look at that? They were down 2-0. Not only have the Totems erased that 2-0 deficit, they have now scored the 3-2 go-ahead goal here, courtesy of Wayne Hall. A little more Wayne Hall, and the Queen of Spades for the assist. We're going to award the assist to Kozowski. Kozowski, that is a... Does Kozowski even have a point in my replay so far? I'm curious now. I got to check my off-camera spreadsheet here for the Totems. Kozowski. Lou Kozowski without a point in 8 games for the Totems. He's picked up an assist here on Wayne Hall's goal, so it's Wayne Hall from Kozowski. And just double checking here, we are about 12.5 minutes in. So the Comets now, after 3 unanswered goals, about 7.5 minutes to try to get back into this game themselves, where Guile Fielder will have possession, but he's unable to do anything other than really eat some time on the clock here. So about 5 minutes to go in the third period. And once again, it's going to be the Totems with possession. We're looking at Bill McFarland. Bill McFarland again. So the Comets here pretty tight defensively, looking for an opportunity to come back and tie. A team player for the Comets will have it in the final sequence. It is Harry Ottenbright who scored earlier in this game. Ottenbright with a jack, however, unable to penetrate. So though we could, as a formality, flip a couple of more cards, we don't need to here. This is a 3-2 Seattle Totems game. Win here. They pick up a narrow win on the road. And so what I'm going to do in addition to shuffling these cards is that's another thing too. Lately I've been using the deck.of cards, and I've not been shuffling them manually, so this is a bit of a different experience here for me after not too long, a week or two. But it's I have ready here to go. I have actually here, I'll pause the camera just in case that didn't go so smoothly. I had there tucked beneath the Comets cards. I had the Buckaroos here. So we have the Portland Buckaroos. Of course, this is a nothing hockey game because we've yet to drop the puck on it. So we have here the, again, it's the Portland Buckaroos here at home this time. So the Seattle Totems, they've come to Portland Memorial Coliseum. Portland Memorial Coliseum are the Totems. Back for 2 of 2 here with the doubleheader. The Seattle Totems, the only team that through 9 games has been able to defeat the Portland Buckaroos, and they are here trying to do it again, trying to show that the first one wasn't a fluke. So we're going to start things off here with the Totems with possession. Again, it's that Guile Fielder. Guile Fielder, look at this. Red Kings or King of Clubs there for the Buckaroos defense. Hopefully you are able to see that. Sorry if not, but Guile Fielder, he has managed to maneuver it to a team player. That team player is going to be Dom Ward. Dom Ward needed an ace to score there and was unsuccessful. We carry on about 2.5 minutes in, where it is the Totems with possession once more. The Totems and Jim Powers unable to get the puck to anyone in scoring position, unable to get it deep. So we look now once again here. It's the Totems. Filion with the puck, and Filion also unsuccessful with it. So the Totems are playing keep away with it, but unable to generate much of anything here in the early going, where now it is Don Chupka doing the honors for Seattle. But once again here, it's been a really fruitless 10 minutes here to get things going. Let me double check here. Yeah, we're halfway through the first period, where once again, that's 5 possessions in a row now. It's not too often that I see that. Jim Powers, of course, Jim Powers is able to put it through, and Bill Barlow, the recipient of that. Barlow has it deep, but he's unsuccessful on the shot. We're 12.5 minutes into it now. We're finally the Buckaroos with possession. And Bill Saunders automatically, he's going to put it through here. Saunders, he gets it too. Tom McVeigh scores. So taking a 1-0 lead here toward the end of one. It is the Portland Buckaroos here. Tom McVeigh, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly. It's spelled McVie. And McVeigh, he has scored here from it was Bill Saunders who had it initially there. So McVeigh from Saunders, and I'll flip here for a secondary assist. The secondary assist, I looked at the 10 of spades, so I'm looking at Donaldson. So it's Mike Donaldson here, Mike Donaldson, and McVeigh from Bill Sanders and Mike Donaldson here. It's 1-0 for the Portland Buckaroos toward the end of one. Where let me just double check the sequences now. We got 3, 5, 6. We're about 15 minutes in here. So 5 minutes to go here in the first, and it's going to be once again the Buckaroos here with possession. Bill Davidson. Davidson unable to set up anyone here for a scoring chance. So final 2.5 minutes to go here in the first period. We're looking Arnie Schmatz with the puck. Schmatz. He puts it through. Schmatz. He gets it to Orville Tessier, future Chicago Blackhawks coach Tessier. He's unable to score the goal there. So after one period of play, it is 1-0 for the Portland Buckaroos. Back for the second period of play, where it is 1-0 for the Portland Buckaroos after one period. And the previous time that these teams met earlier in the season was the Seattle Totems winning by a score of 5-3. So the Buckaroos again with that record of 7-1-1. They are trying to avenge that lone loss here after 9 games. So anyway, we're going to get the Buckaroos actually with possession here. It is Tom MCVIE here in the early going. MCVIE with the joker. That gives them home ice advantage, so he's automatically going to be able to send it through. Look at this, Bill Saunders, and they are complementing one another in this game. In the first period, we have McVeigh from Saunders, and Saunders returns the favor to the tune of a 2-0 lead now for the Portland Buckaroos, and we have actually McVeigh there with the assist, so that just means a 1-assist goal. It is Saunders from McVeigh here about 2.5 minutes into the second period where the score is 2-0. So it's going to be Guile Fielder now back the other way trying to make moves here and get Seattle into this one. And unfortunately, he's going to be unable to penetrate the team defense here with the face card where you look to the team defense. So it is an on-fielder there. That's all Buckaroos, and we are 5 minutes into the second period now where we have the jack. The jack, that does mean it's going to go back there to Arnie Schmatz. Arnie Schmatz with the 8. He's going to be able to play it through. Schmatz, he gets it to Anderson. Doug Anderson. Doug Anderson has scored here for the Portland Buckaroos to put them up by 3 in period 2. Sorry if this one isn't so competitive. The Buckaroos came into this game with revenge on their mind, and there you have it. It's, again, we had Arnie Schmatz. Arnie Schmatz fed Doug Anderson in scoring position. How many goals has Anderson scored so far in this one? That's he's a little lower down on the roster here. So looking at Portland, let's see Anderson. Sorry, I'm just too curious. No, that'd be Anderson's third, so I stand corrected. Quietly, he already had a couple of goals through 9 games. So the secondary assist here on this goal, we are looking to the ace of diamonds, where it is Art Jones, who that would actually tie him with Jerry Goyer right now with 12 points and leading the Portland Buckaroos in scoring. Tied for the lead. There's Art Jones with the secondary assist on Doug Anderson's goal, initially from Arnie Schmatz. Anyway, we get things going here. Where with the queen, it is Ken Loffman. However, he misplays it. He bobbles it and coughs up the puck. So we are now halfway through this game here. We're doing 60 minutes of regulation and then done no matter what the final score is, tied or not. We're back the Seattle Totems way. Guile Fielder, he maneuvers it too. Bill McFarland set up nicely, and they get jokered out once again, do the Totems. Down by 3 here, not in an enviable position, 12.5 minutes into the second period. And so with about 7.5 minutes to go, this time it is Bill Barlow. Normally that could be an injury, but I'm not playing it that way. So, because again, I already think I explained in this one, it's just, yeah, it's all factored in here, the number of games they would have played in that season. So I don't want to deprive them of any further due injury. Yes, that was a mid-season decision made on the fly. Anyway, it's going to be Bill McFarland here with the puck once more. And McFarland, again, unable to make anything happen. Where right now we have one sequence. We have 2, 3, 4, that'd be 5, 6, and then 7. So we have 2.5 minutes to go here in the second. So the final sequence here, the second period, where it's going to go back the Buckaroos' way. It is Jerry Goyer here with the puck. Goyer, of course, he's able to send it through. Goyer gets it to Art Jones, and the two team leaders in scoring for the Buckaroos are able to complement one another here, and this is sort of turned or devolved into a bit of a beatdown here toward the end of 2. Let's get that secondary assist while we're at it. King of Spades does mean actually a Smith. A Smith, who for Portland? Smith. That's Dallas Smith. You know Dallas Smith? Bobby Orr's defensive line mate. That is Dallas Smith for the Portland Buckaroos, picking up the secondary assist here. Pre-NHL Dallas Smith, and of course that was Art Jones doing the scoring and set up primarily from Jerry Goyer there for the Buckaroos. So through 40 minutes, we have a 4-0 score here. Again, the first time these teams met, it was the Totems prevailing, winning by a score of 5-3, giving the Buckaroos their only defeat of the regular season thus far, if I haven't said it too many times already. Other than that, there was just that tie on the Buckaroos slate, but through, again, it's looking pretty bad actually for the Totems. It's not impossible. Much is possible in this game, but it's looking pretty bad for the Totems through 40 minutes. And just looks like really like goaltender Don Head again, because the Buckaroos surrendered 5 in that other one. But it looks like Don Head has really showed up here for the Buckaroos there in net, and really means business in this one. Where Al Miller, we might also say at the same time, has not played his best game. So anyway, hopefully I have these shuffled about well enough. I'm getting ready here to just deal them out, I guess, for the final 20. And we are just over 20 minutes into it, so I like that. I've gotten through 2 periods now and doing a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of gabbering, and still it's only taken about 8 minutes, so I think I did pause to shuffle there after 1 and double check on a couple of old names. Anyway, so here in period 3 here of the 62-63 Western Hockey League abbreviated replay, we get with the initial possession, the Portland Buckaroos and Ken Loftman. Ken Loftman this time successful. Loftman sets up Doug Anderson looking for his second. Anderson with the ace, and would you look at this? It's going to be a 5-0 game here for the Portland Buckaroos. Early in the third period, it has gone from bad to worse to terrible for the Seattle Totems. In the secondary assist, we look to the 9 of clubs where Jack Bionda, one of my favorite hockey names, not even sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it's one of my favorite hockey names anyway. Jack Bionda with the secondary assist. Doug Anderson getting the goal, and Ken Loftman setting him up there for the primary assist, where it's going to be Arnie Goodwin this time with it for the Buckaroos. They have all the momentum and then some. Goodwin, he puts it through to a team player. The team player with the 4, we're going to give it to Mike Donaldson. Mike Donaldson with the jackets. Al Miller of Seattle able to make the save. We're now 5 minutes into the third period. And with that 6, it's going to be the Buckaroos maintaining possession. Bill Saunders, and that's going to be picked off by the Seattle defense. So now we're 7.5 minutes in here. The Totems just unable to get anything going, quite literally in this one, coming off that 3-2 narrow win over the Spokane Comets in the game before. But it is the Totems with possession. It's defenseman Jimmy Hay. And Jimmy Hay, again, they're just not communicating well. Hay unable to get it to his forwards or fellow defense for anything like a scoring chance. It's going to be Arnie Schmotz with it now. Schmotz also similarly misplays it. And I've lost track of time here. 12.5 in we are. So up to the 15-minute mark here, it's going to be Tom McCarthy with the puck. Tom McCarthy, and they're unable to penetrate there, the Totems defense. So we're looking now, we got about 5 minutes to go in this one. So I don't want to say it's kind of done for Seattle, but it really kind of is. It's going to be Jerry Goyer with the puck. Look at that, able to get through Seattle's team defense there. That staunch challenge mounted. And we're going to a team player here, Mike Donaldson from Jerry Goyer. Mike Donaldson unable. He's unsuccessful in that one. So the final sequence here of this game, we're looking, once again, it is going to be the Portland Buckaroos with possession, and it's Bill Davidson. And there you have it. That's your game, of 5-0 shutout. That is how you answer the bell against a team that defeated you, when you're trying to show that you are a formidable team, a force to be reckoned with. So this all-star season, this immaculate campaign so far for the Buckaroos here in 63, they did not win it in real life. The San Francisco Seals, who so far in my replay are a somewhat struggling, somewhat middling team, watch out for them. However, if they are able to crawl into the postseason, even in this shortened replay, there is enough hockey left to be played that who knows, the Buckaroos could head on a downturn. The San Francisco Seals, rather, on an upswing. I mentioned the Seals because, again, in real life, they won the championship in 63. Here it remains to be seen, but if I had to pick an early favorite, I would say that the Portland Buckaroos at this point are a pretty good-looking candidate. And anytime, any consideration that you give this, while it's never expected, it is always appreciated. And there you have it, this doubleheader where the Seattle Totems here on the road. I kind of thought, I guess, sort of ahead of the crack and getting ready to, crack one open, I guess. This is not a can, but a mug on their regular. If it was the hockey guy, I could have a can to pop open there, a soda, I guess, south of the border. But it's where was I going with that? It's ahead of the Kraken's regular season there, them starting out. It's I thought I'd play a couple of games with the Totems, and again the second overall team, so it kind of made sense. The Totems, they met the third overall team, they were successful by a narrow margin, and then they met the first overall Portland Buckaroos here, and they were blown out. Anyway, once again, thanks for any of your time or consideration or anything like that. I do appreciate it, and bye for now.